Hey squaddies, and welcome to Thriving with the Sussexes. My name is Deanna, and I'm here to report on all things Sussex. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Now let's get on with it. Hey squaddies, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whenever you're listening. Hello. Meghan's introduction to her latest podcast regarding the Asian culture was like most of ours, except she got to experience little Tokyo and the Japanese spas, not really thinking about the harmful stereotypes on Asian women. And added that this topic, stereotyping of women of Asian descent, this doesn't just end once the credit rolls. She spoke with comedian and actress Margaret Cho and journalist Lisa Ling on stereotypes and depictions of Asian women in Hollywood and society, aka the demystification of the Dragon Lady. And she also spoke with sociologist Nancy Wang Yu, who shared her own personal experience of sexual harassment from a man in Atlanta. I'm not gonna lie, I was already aware of these stereotypes through eyesight as well as conversations that may have been a bit heavy for some who were overhearing us, but for women of a certain background, it's normal talk. I have a close friendship with someone who is Asian American and has experienced a lot of what was mentioned on the podcast. Dehumanizing women, all in the name of fetishism and racism, is utter trash. It's BS and it's wrong. It's like with black women being labeled strong. For me, and there's so many lists that goes on regarding the different labels of black women, but for me, I'll be honest with you and confess that I've never been a fan of this stereotype. It always seems masculine to me. Yes, I'm aware of the positives, but still, black women are women at the end of the day. We're feminine, soft, gentle, beautiful, smart, friendly, and even the loudest of the loud. You know how they always say black women are loud? Well, I'm the opposite of that. I mean, there was a point in my life when I tried to make my voice sound very loud, and that didn't work out at all. I sounded crazy. And I'm like, I'm just going to accept my, I'm going to accept this voice. And, here I am. And now that I'm thinking about it, I mean, I guess you can be strong. That's a wonderful thing to have. But just inner strength, Not like, don't assume like black women are this like Hulk, the great American Hulk. We're not the Hulk, or these big buff guys. We're women. We're not Jezebels. We're not angry, and children are children. They're not adults. I know that. I mean, that's gonna be another topic for another day. But you know what I'm talking about regarding that. And if you don't know what I mean, I'll let you hear the audio. It's back in 1995. It was Venus Williams doing an interview with this man, this white man. I guess he couldn't believe how confident she was with her answers, and just like she was just confident. She knew she was going to beat this person. He just kept questioning it over and over again. And like, I don't know if I guess he like try to break her down and stuff, and when she wouldn't break down, he just kept questioning, and then her father intervened, and I'll let you listen.
Did you think you could beat her?
I know I can beat her.
You know you can. Very confident.
I'm very confident.
You say it so easily. Why?
Because I believe it.
Cut right here, if you don't mind, and let me tell you why. What she said it with so much confidence the first time. But if you keep going on and on,
Listen, we can't keep interrupting. I mean, if you want...
You got to understand that you're dealing with an image of a 14-year-old child. And this child gonna be out there playing when your old ass and me gonna be in the grave. When she says something, we done told you what's happening. You're dealing with a little black kid, and let her be a kid. She done answered it with a lot of confidence. Leave that alone.
Anyway, So yes, I would love to speak on this one day. I hope Megan gets to this topic, because this will be an amazing topic to speak on. So yes, this is a perfect example of we will speak on this another day. But some people, even men, and including the men in the black community, not all though, just those type, they don't see, they just have this one label, they put them all together just like that and go with that. I even heard some old family members from that live back in the day, they still have this crazy weird mindsets about black women. And so yeah, I completely understand the frustration with these tropes. The dragon lady depiction in the Asian women is also very wrong. All these labels, they're just all so toxic, and the repercussions always fall on the very group that's talked about. I'm glad this conversation is out. I've seen comments from various platforms, and I'm noticing the ones who aren't too thrilled about these movies and stereotypes being called out are from the very same man who fetishize Asian women. These types of men usually never respect women's opinions at all, any women. And these men, unfortunately, you have to put them together in a group because that's just how they are, but they vote a certain way and they thrive off toxic masculinity. They usually go for East Asian women because of the stereotype of being this weak, submissive, overly sexed woman who can be controlled and tamed. And I have something to say to those who are uncomfortable with topics like these. Get over it and get used to it. Because we're going to keep talking about it and we're going to keep questioning. Margaret Cho and Lisa Ling shared their similar frustrations with the lack of Asian women representation on television and the big screen. For example, Margaret Cho saw May Wong on television, and that inspired her to want to see more women who look like her, Asian women, on television. And when she didn't see enough of it, it inspired her to become an actress and a comedian. And for Lisa Ling, who grew up in a broken home, but she was able to watch TV, a lot of TV, and she didn't see many people who look like her until she saw Connie Chong on the news one day. And that inspired her to pursue a career in broadcast journalism. But I wanted to go back on May Wong and how she paved the way for many Asian actors and actresses. She was one of the first Asian American actors seen in Hollywood cinema. Unfortunately, like with black actors or entertainers, her roles were of stereotypes. For instance, hers were of Asian stereotypes, like of these evil, seductress villains or these servants. Off topic, one of my favorite old Hollywood movies actually had two servants in the movie. There was one was Asian and one was black or African American. And I always noticed that, like, they stood out, and I wanted to see more of those two, but they only had little tiny servant roles. They had the little witty one-liners, short comments that they would make, short quotes that they would make in the movie, and that was about it. And then there was like this stereotype too with the black woman on there with that gossips and lies, about it. Like, yeah. So, oh, and by the way, that movie was called Easter Parade, starring Judy Garland and Fred Astaire. Okay, so back to what I was saying regarding May Wong and paving the way for many Asian entertainers. By being in the Hollywood cinema, she got so frustrated and offended by playing these negative, stereotypical Asian roles that she would protest against them. And this was over a century ago when this stuff happened, like in the 20s and 30s. She left America. I think that she tried to go with this before leaving America. She went with this, try to go with this image of being this beautiful and gorgeous flapper girl, this beautiful and sophisticated, dating rich white men, and she tried to go with that image to see would that work for her to get the roles that she wanted in Hollywood, but it didn't work. Frustrated, she packed her little bags and left America for leading roles in Europe, and it was a success. I've noticed this trend with many entertainers of color in those days. They would get success outside of their home country, and once they return, get utterly disrespected. So yes, after all that success in European countries, all the praise, getting all this treatment that she deserved, she thought that, okay, guess it's time for me to go back home to America because I miss my home in America, and just pretty much just get stumped on with disrespect. Disrespect from her own home country of the United States. But she didn't dwell for long. She kept fighting and even campaigned for the leading role of the film The Good Earth, which was based on one of the biggest books about China during that time. But unfortunately, MGM passed on her and decided to cast white actors who had to use tape and makeup to make their eyes and skin look more Asian. So MGM Studios basically just hired a bunch of white actors to pretty much go yellow face. And what they suggested she play instead? The villain. MGM asked a successful, well-accomplished, and incredibly talented Chinese actress who should have starred in that film to play instead the most hated character in the movie. Let's just say that she didn't accept that role, and good for her. And most of these Asian actors playing these negative depictions weren't even credited in a lot of these old Hollywood films, mainly due to white actors playing them in yellow face. Now back to Margaret and Meghan's discussion about the origins of the Asian women stereotypes leading to people taking the lives of women who were Asian, and how the media tried to protect that individual who was a white man and excuse his horrendous actions by pretty much victim shaming these women. Trying to suggest that that these massage workers were doing a lot more than just their job titles, which wasn't true. Journalist Lisa Ling also shared a toxic experience within a workplace that was supposed to be safe. After the Rolling Stone magazine named her the hot reporter, a hater at her workplace pretty much cut out the article, wrote slants across her eyes, and said, "You're right." She also spoke on the physical attacks that Asians face during the pandemic. Connie Chong played a huge role in Lisa Ling's career in journalism. This is why representation matters. It's no doubt that race plays the role as to why many people of color face not getting that promotion or these huge opportunities to grow in their careers. And with some people laughing or not taking inclusion seriously, we as a country in the United States will always be 2 steps behind everybody else. And we really got to change that. But this conversation is progress. And the more we talk about it, call out the BS, and include all ideas, then I think we as a people will be able to thrive. I'd like to add on to more of Meghan and Margaret's conversation regarding Rodney King and the LA riots and how Asian store owners took matters into their own hands when it came to security for their businesses. It reminded me of a tragic incident of a child, an honor roll student named Latasha Harlins, where she was taken out by a Korean store owner over a bottle of orange juice that she was intending on paying for. It would have been interesting to get Margaret's point of view regarding that. And the last quote from Meghan in response to Lisa Lane's 9-year-old daughter was also so touching, saying, "If you want to be weird or sponge-like, be silly or fierce, be curious or even self-doubting or unsure some days and strong and brave on others, whatever it is, that's up to you. Just be yourself, no matter what any societal framework or archetype or loud voice coming from a small place tells you that you should be. Be yourself, your full, complete, whole-layered, sometimes weird, sometimes awesome, but always best and true self. Just be you. You're so much greater than any archetype." I look forward to next week's podcast. I wonder who's going to be the next guest. What do you all think? I have all the links to all the sources, picture credits, and music used on this video in the description box. In the meantime, I hope that your weekend is filled with blue skies, sunshines with positive vibes. I'd like to say thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell. My name is Deanna, and you are watching Thriving with the Successes. Talk to you soon.